Hi, my name is Christine Dunfair. I'm a medical lab technician. I work in the Pathology department in Beth, Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Currently, I work in the point of care division of the Pathology department. My responsibility is to make sure that we remain in compliance with the instrumentations that are used by bedside. So that will have to do with the glucometers, the iStats, the heme onclot test. So it does vary. It changes every day. Some days you can catch me on the floor, some days you can catch me in the labs, and others you can catch me in the office. So I do a little bit of everything. I will either go on to the floors just to check an instrumentation if they're having any issues with it, troubleshooting just to make sure that it works accordingly and that all the results that we're receiving are accurate and precise. As well as data entry. So it's never the same thing all the time. So that's my favorite part. Currently we did launch new glucometers in October. So the only issue that we are seeing a little bit is the glucometers in which we had before. The nursing staff were able to just hold it in any which way and not have too many problems with it. With this, what we're seeing is that oftentimes once they get the sample, they might still hold it in their hands versus laying it flat down completely. So we'll get a little bit of blood into the port in which I will go and get the meter to troubleshoot it. The process of troubleshooting will often just bring it over here to run QC and linearity. This way we could still see if the instrumentation is still being accurate and precise as it needs to be. I initially started when I was going to Quincy. I was taking my prerequisites for the nursing program, and there was a waiting list. And so at that point, I pretty much kind of didn't want to sit around and wait and take unnecessary classes. So I sat down, I spoke with my advisor, and she was like, hey, you're pretty strong in your science courses. What do you think about the MLT program? And at that time, I had no idea what it was. So we went through it, we talked about it, and I was like, wow, yeah, I was really interested. So I went, and that was my day one. So the MLT program at Quincy was amazing. I got a chance to meet a great bunch of students as well as professors along in the process, as well as the classes. The classes were, I would say, because it was such a smaller environment, the classes were very hands-on. We had more contact with the professors. Any questions that we had, they were more than welcomed and open to answering them and spending that extra time to help you understand something if you didn't. All my teachers and professors who I had the opportunity of meeting were so much more than professors. They were counselors, they were psychiatrists. No, but they really did help you above and beyond, just outside of the core education process. And if you were stressed out about anything, they never had any issue giving you office time to sit and talk with them. So I loved it, and I definitely do it again. Well, the SCILS initiative definitely opened a gate in far as relieving an immense amount of stress. You know, when you start something, a program, especially for school, we all know how expensive college can be. The last thing you want to deal with is not being able to attend a class, or you signed up for something and having to put it on hold because your finances, your personal finances don't meet that expectation, and allowed you to be a student in its entirety. So you can focus your mind on what's important, which is studying, taking the test, passing the exams, and preparing for the next day and the next subject. I really love this job. I love coming into it every single day and working. For the most part, I've been readjusting my expectations, if anything. As I said before, I started with the intentions and mindset of ending up as a nurse and then going into this program. So I started with being more hands-on and having more contact with patients, and kind of going towards the other direction where it's you're more doing behind the scenes, and you're still a huge portion as to what goes on in that patient environment and providing to their healthcare, but you're just working in a different end, in a different perspective. So that, I wouldn't even say is my least favorite part, but it's something that I've had found a little bit challenging and where I'd have to adjust myself to get used to. It's a good way to look at healthcare from a different angle. We're so used to always coming in and you hear about the nurses and the physicians. I want to be a nurse or a doctor, but you never hear anything about being a lab tech. And I think that's because a lot of people have absolutely no idea what that is. We just go, you sit down, the tests are in, and then the doctor gives you the results, and you leave with it as a patient, as a student. That's how I felt about it.